Hey guys, we are on video number 16. I know it's been a while, I apologize, but I'm finally done memorizing my lines for the show. The show's been going great, by the way. If you want to see it, let me know. Regardless, we're going to move on, and I'm going to do these videos on a more regular basis, because I have more free time to do it. Alright, cool. So, we're going through verses 17 and 18 through the Sermon on the Mount today. If you remember the older videos, verses 3 all the way through 16, that has to do with the general idea of how Christians to live, and now we're getting into the more specifics on how we're to live before the Lord. Now, Jesus starts it off in verse 17. He says, "Do not think that I've come to abolish the law. I've come not to abolish the law or the prophets, but I have come to do not think I've come to abolish the law of the prophets, but I've come not to abolish them, but to fulfill them. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappears, not the smallest letter, not even the least of the stroke of a pen, will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished." Now, what does he mean there? So, first I want to define a few words, and then we'll get into what Jesus is saying. So, when he's saying law, he's talking about the law back in Leviticus and Exodus and in the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible. Now, we can break up today, and you could break it up back then, the law into 3 different categories. We have the moral law, which have to do with the 10 Commandments and, how you are to morally carry your heart before the Lord. And then we have the judicial law, which the nation of Israel at that time, that was basically their judicial system of how they were to carry out, their day-to-day lives. And then we have the sacramental law, which has to do with the temple sacrifice and ritual cleansing and things like that. So the one that applies to us today is the moral law. And obviously, we don't have to, because we're not the nation of Israel, we don't have to go by the judicial, and obviously, because there's no more temple, we don't have to go by the sacramental. But we go by the spirit of the moral law. With that being said, what does Jesus mean when he says fulfill? Now, he doesn't mean to finish or to end, because lots of people think that. They think Jesus just ended the law and there's no more law. And I want to say that's actually really, that teaching is highly in error. Why do I say that? Because that would be a complete contradiction of what Jesus just said right here. Think about it. He says, "I've come not to abolish the law, but to end it." Or, "I've come not to abolish the law, but to finish it." No, but he specifically says here, "Do not think I've come to abolish the law, but to fulfill it. For I tell you the truth, it will not have until heaven and earth disappear. Not the least stroke of a pen will by any means disappear until the law is accomplished." So, by fulfill, he means to carry out. Jesus carried out the law in obedience, and that's really important, and I might get back to that. So we have 2 ideas here that Jesus either, did away with the law, and obviously that's not correct, because we know by this very verse it's saying the opposite of that. But other people have the exact opposite idea and think Jesus only taught the law, and that's not true, because he taught grace and truth. John 1:17, "For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth by Jesus Christ." So the reality here is Jesus carried out the law, and what he's saying here is, in terms of righteous living, all the law was fulfilled by him. He fulfilled it all. He carried it all out, and he was perfectly obedient to the law, and he is the fulfillment of it. So Jesus' teachings are not contrary to the law. They're in perfect harmony with the law. So that was one of the points he made about his teachings, is his teachings are complete harmony with the law. what his teachings were in disharmony with were with the traditions and teachings of the Pharisees, which were in disharmony with the law, actually. So that's what Jesus was teaching, and that's as much as I think I'm going to get into these 2 verses. I know that was a lot of information. I hope this was helpful to you. I'm going to get into more detail about this specific passage because there's still more verses we want to get into. But I'll leave it there for now. Bless you guys, and I will catch you later. Bye.